Hey everyone, welcome to my second video about the Yamaha Revstar 502T. I want to talk about what I love about this guitar, what I don't love about this guitar. I'm going to tell you whether or not I'm keeping it or sending it back because I've spent the last week really thinking about that. I've never had a new guitar before. I've never had an Indonesian-made guitar before. I guess in the grand scheme of things, excluding like Firefly and Harley Benton and stuff like that, this is a cheap guitar. So even though I don't think $650 is cheap, I guess the internet says, what can you expect for $650? So I want to talk about those things, and I want to play the guitar most importantly, because that's the most important thing about guitars, is that they be played. So the things I don't love: the nut, it's not very good, it's just a cheap plastic nut. Basically, just get a new nut, it's no big deal. If you cut your own nuts, it's probably the first thing you'll do. If not, and you get it done by somebody, I would say prepare to, to spend that money. But here's a few other things you might want to look at when you're getting that setup done. So the fretboard, and I don't know if you'll be able to see this, I've kind of been wiping it off. The fretboard has some kind of dye or something on it, and when you play the guitar for a few minutes, it warms up, it comes off on your fingers, and I've cleaned this fretboard about 6 times, but the stuff still keeps coming off. So I have no idea what it is. It's sort of off-putting, but, other than that, like, it's probably something that could be fixed with steel wool, which would polish the frets anyway, which isn't a bad thing, because the frets, I think, need to be polished a little bit, and the fret edges aren't that great. If you're playing standing up, it's no big deal, but if you're sitting down, it's definitely noticeable. The other thing I don't really like is that this guitar has just regular tuners on it. I just think regular tuners shouldn't exist because locking tuners exist, and they're just so much better, and it saves so much time and frustration. And I've had locking tuners on my other 2 guitars for so long that I forgot that you have to do all the wrapping and winding, and it's stupid. But anyway, that's nothing, that's whatever. What I really like is I like this push-pull pot on the tone. It cuts some bass, and when you're using Fuzz, it sounds incredible. Overall, I mean, this is just a great thing to have because you have basically 6 pretty, pretty different sounds, which is really cool. Other thing I like, this input jack. It is a legit, sturdy, like when you plug that thing in, it's plugged in, it's not going anywhere, it's totally awesome. The volume has a lot of resistance. I talked about that in my first video. I actually really like it. It's completely different than the Strat kind of volume, which my other 2 guitars kind of have that whole low resistance volume pot thing going on. One is a Strat loadout, so you do the Strat thing, but this is totally different, and I really like that. It's good, it's inspiring. It's totally different than anything I have, so it's making me play differently. And I've actually written quite a few riffs and songs on this thing in the last week, and that is definitely the most important part of the guitar. So yeah, just a few things to know if you're thinking about buying this guitar. Other than that, I think it's a really awesome guitar. It's really inspiring to play. If you are into the Gibson scale or Gibson style things already, it's a no-brainer. If you're playing a bunch of Fenders or PRSs and you're looking for something different, like I was, I think it's a really good shout to start out with. I really like it. It's great for fuzz. It is a fuzz machine, I think. So, am I going to keep it? I think I'm going to keep it. I really went back and forth because it sounds great dirty, but you kind of have to work for a nicer clean sound, because I've been just really used to like a straight single coil or a split humbucker single coil sound, and this P90 sound is just really different. It's bigger, it's got more mid, it's just, it doesn't do the low gain Strat funk thing like a Strat does. It doesn't do a Strat like position 4 clean thing. It's just totally different. So you kind of have to work with that, and like, it's cool. It's a challenge. That's one of the things I've grown to love about it, is like I have to play things differently. Dynamics have to be different. Anyway, I think it's a good guitar. I really do. I could see why it's getting the positive feedback that it's getting. So I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna play some music now. I'm just gonna jam around on this thing, Thanks for watching the video. Please definitely subscribe if you feel the need. Yeah, thanks. Alright, so this is the alternate ending to the video. I didn't end up keeping the guitar, and I wanted to talk really quickly about why. Basically, it was a project. The other two guitars that I have right now are both projects, and I was looking for something that was just ready to go out of the box. And I don't know if I expected too much for the price point or whatever, but ultimately I didn't want to keep it because I didn't want to spend money on a guitar when I have two that need to be worked on. So there's a few functionality and playability issues. Basically, the nut, it's bad. I mean, it's just a cheap nut, and that's totally fine. You can replace it. I just didn't want to. The fretboard, that die, I kept cleaning the fretboard. I changed the strings. I didn't know what was going on, and I didn't want to deal with it, that's on me. The frets were okay. The fret edges were not that great. I felt like the fret wire was probably pretty cheap and would probably need to be replaced in a few years because I kind of played really hard, and I play guitar like a lot. Not professionally or anything, but that's just kind of what I do. So I guess my technique is caveman-like, and I could tell I would be wearing those frets out. And a fret job is really expensive, and I don't want to have a guitar that is going to need that kind of work in a few years, and I also don't want to own a guitar that is something I don't want to keep because of repair costs, you know? So again, all that's on me. I think the guitar played really well. It sounded amazing. If you're looking for a guitar to play rock and roll or whatever, lots of fuzz, that is definitely the guitar for you. If you play a lot of clean stuff, and I kind of play a lot of clean stuff, I don't know, the P90s were something different that I wasn't at all used to. I did really like them, a lot actually, but for ambient stuff, I'm just not 100% sure if that's, you know, again, all this stuff is on me. It's not on the guitar. It's whatever. If you're looking for a guitar in that price point, I still think it's a really great guitar. The other thing I did want to mention is with the tuners not being locking tuners and the way that you string the guitar, the bridge after the I guess the tune-o-matic, there's that bridge, and that's where you put your strings, and basically you put them in these slots, and you hope that gravity holds them in place while you're doing everything up at the tuning peg. And it honestly took me kind of a lot longer than usual to restring the guitar. So I did want to put that out there. It just, I don't know, man. It's just something to think about before you get a new guitar. Anyway, that's why I didn't keep it. I kind of missed it a little bit, but that's another story. A new guitar is coming soon. Black Friday is in 1 week, and I definitely have something in mind. So subscribe to my channel. Keep tuned in, or whatever they say. Thanks for watching.